like it. How's everyone doing this morning? Very good. Awesome. So, like Thomasina said, my name is Matt Walker. I am with the Homesnap Homes.com field team. I have been with them for about 7 years now. Started as just an inside sales rep, have worked in a couple different capacities, but now I'm here with you guys and I'm super excited because I will say, I have yet to talk to a broker like Thomasina in the amount that she is willing to do for you guys. I think that deserves, even though wait, she's right here. Give her a little round of applause for her. Give her a Thomasina. So I'll give you an example, right? So when Thomasina and I and my director were originally speaking, we talked about a number of different things, and we had an entire list. We had a huge roster it included a lot of additional people, even outside of your team. And she was on the road driving, and she was like, all right, you know what? Go ahead and just read me out the names. I just need first names only. And I literally sat there and read every first name, and she was like, yep, nope, not here, yep. And I kid you not, that is the first broker I've ever talked to that knows every single one of her agents by their first name only, right? And so but in all seriousness, you guys have an amazing leader in Thomasina. I'm super excited to be able to work with you guys. Before we jump in, I have a couple gift cards to give away. If you're on Zoom, I am sorry, but this is for in-person only. So for my in-person people, I do want to hear who our most recent into the real estate world is. So let's do, if you have been in the industry, real estate, not with the team, but if you've been in the industry of real estate for less than 5 years, raise your hand.
Oh gosh, you might as well go.
All right. Less than 5 months. Wait, what? All right. What's your name? Brittany. Everyone give a round of applause to Brittany. All right. Now that Thomasina is out, because she can't participate in this piece, let's find out who our most tenured agent here is. So if you have been in the business for more than 15 years, raise your hand. That's one person, Mr. David. Give it up. 21. Awesome. So 21 years. Here's the thing. Homesnap is going to be able, Homesnap is going to be able to help you, whether you've been in the business for 5 months or 21 years. And that's really our goal today, is to walk you through some of the additional tools to help make your life a little bit easier. Does that sound fair enough? Is that cool? Awesome. So I've got a couple slides I'm going to go through, and the majority of today is going to be spent actually on the website teaching you guys what to do. I don't know if you're like me, I prefer a short slide deck. Thomasina told me to keep this thing less than 3 hours, so I will work to do that. I'm kidding, by the way. In case you're wondering. So let's dive in. Here we go. You don't need to see my picture. I'm up here anyway. All right. So everyone should already have access to Homesnap. If you do not have access to Homesnap, please see me afterwards. I'll make sure to get you logged in. We need to make sure that the app is downloaded on your phone, because not only is this going to be a site that you use on your laptop, we also want it to be for when you go out into the field. The point of Homesnap originally, when Homesnap was originally created, was to be essentially a walking MLS for you, right? So that as you're on the go, as you're in the field, you don't have to wait to do certain things until you get back to the office. You can do a lot of these simple tasks on the go, on the fly with, oops. There we go. Now I can keep going. So all of that to say, we want to make sure that you have the app downloaded on your phone, iPad. I know you were using your iPad. Great. Whatever you find easiest to do on the fly. Does that make sense? Perfect. So let's keep going. We're going to talk about a couple different things today. Originally, what we're going to do is we're going to start with who CoStar is. Is anyone familiar with CoStar? A couple hands go up. Perfect. Tell me what you know about CoStar so far.
You could stop.
That's more on the Homesnap side. But yeah, on CoStar itself, absolutely. What else do we know about CoStar? Commercial. Yes.
I truly believe is the true MLS for commercial.
Yeah.
You can't do commercial honestly without CoStar, although it's not required. It is the reign of commercial. And so it's not required as far as when you go through your commercial training, it doesn't say you have to have CoStar, but you can't conduct business without it.
Right.
You just can't. And so that and LoopNet are the two that you have to have.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have them, I mean, you're basically just not a commercial agent, right? I mean, you're just not.
No, it's true. And what Thomasina doesn't know is that she pitched that so well. She's actually going to come up here and finish the presentation. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, right? No, in all seriousness, it really is. CoStar is the leading digital aggregate for real estate information. Whether that's commercial, whether that's multifamily with apartments.com, you'll probably have seen some Jeff Goldblum commercials out there. Apartments.com is also under the CoStar umbrella. And now, as of a year and a half ago, so is Homes.com and Homesnap. And ultimately, the entire goal, if you will, is for CoStar now to provide the same top tier data information aggregate that they do with commercial multifamily now to the residential sector as well. So you guys are in on the ground floor. We're in our infancy stages with CoStar, if you will. So a lot of things have changed. Thomasine and I were talking yesterday about, you probably saw some articles recently within the last week from Inman, Res Media, about some of the changes that are about to happen with Homesnap and Homes.com. I'm going to be able to showcase some of those features a little bit later today. Sound fair? So that's really what we're going to go over today. We're going to start with Homesnap because that's the primary function. You guys need to know about the tools that you have access to currently. We talked about CoStar just a little bit. Some of the brands that you guys have already mentioned, LoopNet, 10X, CoStar themselves, Lands of America, Apartments.com. These are all, this is a portion of the brands that are under CoStar. There's about 25 different brands that CoStar operates across the entire globe. So they're international. We've got offices in Spain, in Austria, and New Zealand. It's all across the globe. Right now, they're really focused on the residential sector, which is the most exciting piece. Everyone has seen this face before, I'm assuming, correct? You've seen some commercials with Brad Bellflower, AKA Jeff Goldblum. He actually, was anybody able to go to NAR, the conference in Orlando? Nobody? He was actually there. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So
If I knew he was there.
yeah, he was there. He was like, I literally got about as close as us, and that was as close as I could get to him. But it was still really neat to see him there. He was excited. He was hanging out with real estate agents in the VIP area. But originally, about a year and a half ago, our owner, Andy Florence, really wanted to provide an agent-friendly solution for real estate search. And there really wasn't, we knew for a fact that, listen, to be perfectly honest, I'm not supposed to talk bad about any competitors, but y'all know who I'm talking about, okay? So there's just not a very good agent-friendly alternative out there right now. And Andy Florence knew that. Enter Homesnap and Homes.com and a lot of the changes that he's making. In the short time that he has been operating Homes.com, we have more than doubled the visits. This is actually outdated. It's actually tripled the visits now. Invested about $220 million in marketing into the Homes.com Homesnap brand, and that's going to continue to grow. We're actually on the search for the celebrity contact, celebrity spokesperson that we're going to have for Homes.com. We can't use Jeff Goldblum. He's already been used, but really what we're trying to do is we want to build the best place for a shopper, an online shopper, to connect with an agent. We know you guys are the experts. We know we need to get that consumer into your hands because you guys need to be able to do what you do best and work hand in hand with that consumer. And that's what's going to happen with Homes.com. Homesnap is going to be all of the productivity tools that you have now is eventually going to be rolled into that Homes.com platform. That way everything is fully integrated. So all the tools I'm about to show you now will be rolled into that Homes.com platform. A couple of things that you're going to get as we're diving into the website. I'm actually going to end the presentation now and actually jump into the website. We'll come back to this in a minute to cover, but this is all of the tools that Thomasina has so graciously given to you guys. It's because of her, because of the partnership that we have. There are going to be so many countless things that you have access to now. Am I going to be able to cover every single item? Definitely not, right? That's not the point. The point today is to get you using the most crucial pieces to make your life a little bit easier, okay? So question for you guys, who here has been using Homesnap prior to the relationship beginning with Thomasina? Okay, we have a few people. Okay, a lot of people. That's awesome. I love it, okay? We don't see that very often in a lot of the offices we go to, but it's awesome to see that you guys already use it. Can someone tell me what you use it currently for or what you were using it for?
Everything.
Everything. Define, no, I'm just kidding.
Property searches with it.
Set up property searches for it.
Properties to see if they're under contract.
Yes. Yes.
I don't think.
Say it a little louder. I'm just kidding.
And I also use it to like run a quick CMA on a house if I'm in it.
Ah, I love it. I love it. Okay, what else?
As our website,
Go ahead, Manish.
as our website, and also to help clients, find their homes. And
Yes.
if you're on the go, it was very helpful.
I love it. Adam.
Oh, you sir, I want to see you, by the way. I
Good to
miss
see
you so
ya.
much. I used to work for him. He's an awesome boss. When you're running comps on the MLS, you can use it as a get your bearings in terms of how many rooms and bedrooms. And
Yes.
So you can have a second screen while you're working on the MLS.
Yep, love it. Yep.
Google reviews.
Yes. Google reviews have been tough recently. I'll tell you that much, but yes.
Search the most likely to sell. They
Yeah.
have a
Ah.
lot of the information, phone numbers, and I think 80% of them are like.
Yeah,
Good numbers, email addresses, how much they own the property, so almost like being a detective and knowing, so I love that.
and with that, the presentation's over. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's awesome to hear you guys already using the Homesnap tools, and all I'm trying to do is make sure everyone's on the same page and everyone's going to be using those tools moving forward. Okay, so we've heard a couple of things. What I want you guys to do first and foremost, I will clarify to make sure to realize I'm walking through the desktop site to make sure we can have it recorded. You guys can have this moving forward. I want you guys to realize the mobile version is slightly different, but it is still extremely usable. If you need to be walked through something that I show you here on the desktop version, again, I'm staying late, see me afterwards, and I'll be able to walk you through the app version as well. Make sense? Cool. So what I want you guys to do first, we need to make sure everyone is opted in for notifications. If you have an agent or a consumer reach out to you, you want to be notified, correct? You want to make sure you get that notification. I can't tell you how many agents, when we go into an office and we start presenting this, we log into their Homesnap account, and I've seen agents with 50 messages that they never received because they opted out of all notifications from Homesnap. So we need to make sure that your notifications are correct. So if you're on the mobile site, you'll go to the Me tab on the very bottom right side, and there will be a little settings gear in the top left. You'll scroll down and see notifications. If you're following along with me on the desktop version, you'll come to the Me tab and you'll just scroll down so you see notifications right here. You'll want to go into notifications and make sure everything's opted in, that you have both email and push notifications. Okay, right now, most of these aren't going to be texted, but you at least need to make sure you have the push notifications, because that's going to be the in-app experience. You get that little toggle or the little notification at the top of your phone, and it will tell you when you get a message from someone, or if something hits the market that matches your search criteria. Does that make sense? Also, I think Thomasina mentioned it. If you guys have questions as I'm going, let me know. You can stop me. If I need to push it off to the end of the meeting, don't be offended. It's just I want to make sure we cover as much as possible. Okay. Again, if you're in the app version, you're going to go to the bottom right where it says Me tab. And then in the top left, it will have a little notifications icon for iPhone. Yep, iPhone is top left. I think Android might be the right, but you'll look for that gear wheel and you'll find notifications there. Okay. Again, if you need help, see me afterwards. We'll be good to go. Yep. Additionally, I know a lot of people have multiple MLS IDs that they're working with. Okay. You've got Rain, you've got Albemarle, you've got CVR MLS, you've got Bright. If you need to manage those and claim your other identities, MLS identities, you can do that here as well. The Me tab is just going to be everything about you. Okay. It's everything you specific. So notifications, IDs, your payment methods, which you don't need to worry about. Clients and contacts. This is where we need to make sure that you know how to invite your clients to connect with you on Homesnap. And this is crucial for you guys. All right. So if you follow along, we'll go to clients and contacts. Obviously, I'm not an agent. I'm not connected with anybody. This is where hopefully you'll be able to see a list of your clients right here. Okay. I have favorite clients. I have recently viewed people. I have people that I've invited or people that have requested me. What you want to do is start inviting clients. The importance of inviting clients cannot be understated, because hear me out. When you connect with a client, whether it's on here or on homes.com, the experience will be the same. So if you connect with someone here, it's going to automatically transfer to homes.com. And I will talk about why that's important a little bit later. when you are connected with a consumer, as soon as they land on either Homesnap or homes.com, you are the agent they're going to be working with. We're not showcasing any other agents. This comes complimentary with the partnership that we have. You will be listed as the buyer's agent to work with. Okay, it doesn't matter where in the United States they're searching. If they search for a $20 million investment property down in Florida, who is the agent that they're going to be seeing? It's going to be you. Okay,
That's if they are in our profile.
if they're connected with you. That's why it's so important and so crucial that you get connected with people. And it's why it's important to connect with people that you've already worked with, not necessarily are working with, right? How many times do we talk about as real estate agents, we want to get to the point where we are by referral only, right? We want to get to that point where we're driving the majority of our business via referral. Most of that comes, that word of mouth advertising, sure. But when you stay connected with them on Homesnap and homes.com, as soon, let's say it's 5-10 years down the road, they haven't thought about you in 5 or 10 years. As soon as they come back to homes.com and Homesnap to look, who are they going to see again? They're going to see you. And that is the power of branding that we're going to help do for you. Does that make sense? Any questions on this? Okay. What I would recommend doing, okay, because right now we don't have, I think Thomasine and I were talking yesterday, there's not an easy way to like import a huge list of clients. That's coming. It's in phase 2, I think, of the new homes.com site. Right now, the simplest way that we have, you can invite clients via email, or you can send them, text them. You can post this link on social media. You can tweet it out. You can Instagram it, put it on your stories, whatever you have. This is your unique link right here. As soon as they click on it, they claim it. They are connected with you now for as long until they say, I'm done working with so-and-so. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
From here.
Yep.
Can you show us how to put this on Instagram?
Mhm.
I've never done that. I've only done Facebook.
Yep. So when you actually are on your phone, I'll show you on the phone a little bit later, right? The simplest thing to do on Instagram is honestly just posting the link. I would probably put this in your bio, right? So if you put it in your about me section or bio section or whatever, and just put a call to action, connect with me today to work. I'll answer all your questions or what have you, right? Put it there. There is a simpler way on your iPhone. If you have iPhone, I'm not an Android person, sorry. But if you have an iPhone, I can help you, definitely. Hey, listen. Hey, listen, all I have to say is like, we were in one office not too long ago, and there were so many Android users. It was a weird experience for me. Okay. No, I'm an Apple guy all the way, unfortunately. So use this link, invite your clients via email. This is the start. Okay. Again, you connect with them here. They're also going to be connected with you on homes.com, and I'll explain why that's important a little bit later. Any other questions on connecting with clients?
You were gonna touch on iPhone.
Afterwards. Yeah, see me afterwards, just because we're recording this on Zoom. I'm going to keep it desktop right now. iPhone, I'll talk to you guys afterwards. So if you have an iPhone, come see me. Okay. I'll work with Androids as well. Okay. All right. Hey, there is a tech support number. No, I'm just kidding. I won't give you that. All right. So once you've connected with your client, what we're going to do now is we're going to pretend as if we are the customer, we are the client actually searching for a property. So what is a zip code that you guys work primarily in around here? I should know, I lived here for my whole life, but
2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Okay. Yep. So we're going to jump in. We're going to search for some properties here. Now, obviously, we showcase the active for sale listings just like any other web portal, right? What you now have access to, being a Pro Plus subscriber, is you now have access to looking at off-market properties. Okay. Honest question. How many of you want to find a new listing to sell? Okay. All right. Everyone's hand should be up, right? Thomasine is looking around at those who didn't put their hand up. No, I'm just kidding. So we all want the next listing, especially today's market. I know is a little weird. It's kind of, I don't know. A lot of people I'm talking to right now, it seems like it might be flipping to that buyer's market a little bit. Is that what we're feeling right now? What do we feel?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. We got a little
It's not what
time.
It was, but I don't think it's.
We're coming closer to that.
Yeah.
50,
Hoping for
50, or
balance.
like an 80, but we're getting closer, but it hasn't, it's not a whole buyer.
Right, okay. My wife and I just recently moved. We were living in Norfolk. I grew up on 15th Street, actually. But we were living in Norfolk for a little bit and then no offense to Norfolk, needed to get out of Norfolk and moved to Chesapeake. So I'm over off of 17 over there, and we bought in March. So it was not quite at its peak, but I remember when we originally got pre-approved, we were at like 3 something, and then I bought at 5 something. It was like, what the heck happened here? So we want to find the,
For listening to whoever took that house, because it wasn't us, but maybe next time.
yeah,
We're buying then though and not now.
I know.
So good for you.
Yep. No, I've known the agent I worked with, known her for a while, but I will tell you this, I'm always open to a better agent. Okay, there you go. There's your plug, right? All right, so here we go. We're gonna walk through how to find your off-market properties. Okay, I can't remember if it was Nikita, possibly it was you, talking about how you look for the likely to list. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you notice, here's the cool thing. Every one of these will be unlocked for you guys now, thanks to Thomasina, okay? The majority of them are unlocked by default. We give them as access to because of the dues you pay to Ring, right? But there's a couple big ones that I'll talk about that are locked unless you're on Thomasina's team and working with her. If they're not unlocked, talk to Thomasina. But all of these now are unlocked for you, which is going to be important because there are different ways you can now prospect for your next property. Nikita was mentioning likelihood to list. We'll start there. This is going to be a neighborhood-based search, or you're going to narrow this down to a much more isolated area. Yes, David.
Sorry, how are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Thank you. Let's start there. Okay. By default, when you come and do a search for a zip code or an area, it's going to be on for sale by default. You want to flip it to explore. I think most everyone should say explore. Some of them might say off market, but most everyone should say explore. You want to flip this tab at the top to explore. This is where you'll see for sale, for rent, explore. Okay. If you don't see explore, that means you're not logged into your agent account. See me afterwards. Okay. David, did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect.
Do you have that button? David?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Do we have someone, Holly, do you not have it?
I'm getting there.
Okay. All right.
I don't need your help with the start.
And you're the user helping her.
Right.
Hey, for the record, not all Android users are this angry.
I love it. All right. When you flip it to explore, now you'll have options to see. Here's one thing I want you to keep in mind. This is a lot easier on your phone. Okay, so what we're going to do is, again, I'm walking you through the desktop. It's the same experience on your phone, but I just want you to hear. So when you flip it to explore, you will see on your phone, there is a heat maps button. You'll click on the heat maps, it'll expand the entire list. This is where we see that entire list. When I click into likelihood to list, I've got 3 options: most likely, likely, and least likely. Which ones do we want to see? Most. All right. So I'm going to take at least the least likely out. Let's go to, I'm going to start actually. I'm going to go local, 15th Street.
You, if you will.
Keep in mind, when you start using these filters, you need to make sure you're zoomed in enough to start seeing the dots. Okay, the dots are all of the properties. You've got different colors for dots. You've got red, or let's start with blue. You've got blue dots, which is just the property itself. You've got red dots that indicate that the house was sold in the last 12 months. You've got green dot, which means what?
For sale.
It's for sale. No, it's for sale. Yep. I don't, was it you? Okay.
Yeah,
It's for sale. Green. So, right? Yeah, green means go right now. Green means active for sale property. Red sold in the last 12 months, and then blue would be your off-market properties. Make sense? Okay. So when I scroll down enough to see some of these properties here, I'm gonna scroll into, you can start to see, you see how you see like the well, it's really hard to see on the screen. There's that property outlines. Let's go likelihood to list. We're going to street. There we go. Now we have color. All right. This is where we're going to actually start looking for those off-market properties that we deem, our algorithm deems, are most likely to list. So what do y'all think most likely means?
They've had the mortgage for a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. What else?
Yeah, agree.
Equity in the house, in the property, yep.
Do they have the ones that are behind payments?
Behind on payments, I don't believe so. I don't know if that's one.
Button for pre-foreclosure.
Yep, not in this one. Yeah, but there is a distressed property
Okay.
tab that we'll look at.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Do they follow your Google history by chance? Do they follow the Google history, like people who are searching for like other places to live or what is my homework? or something
Yeah,
like that?
so I'm going to say number one, I don't know if I know the answer to that 100%. My guess is no, because this is specifically like property based. It does take into consideration the current homeowners, but I don't know if it goes that deep yet. It will eventually, because that's what CoStar does. CoStar is a big data company.
So
All,
this will eventually do that.
oh, I
I
guarantee.
mean, if CoStar is doing, I mean, it should be like next month.
Right. I'll tell Andy that. I'll call him up.
Everything.
I might not be here next month, but just make sure you're willing to hire me, you know. Okay, cool. All right, so if you are having trouble seeing these, just get with me afterwards. I'll make sure that you know exactly how to find them. But for the sake of the demonstration, your blues are most likely orange. Let's find an orange and see why this one is most
likely.
correct.
Okay.
Orange is most likely. When I click into the property, again, this is off market, not active right now, hasn't been sold in the last year. But we're going to take a look at why this one in Virginia Beach off of Cypress, this was right next to me.
And everybody writes down that address.
Right? So here's the thing. We have an algorithm that scores every property that's sold, and it scores the home buyers as well, right? It takes that scoring and it applies it to all of the local properties. So what happens a lot of times is we get people to say, well, Matt, I looked at my own property and it says I'm most likely to list. I haven't even thought about. That's not the point. The point is your house, your situation, your circumstance matches what just happened down the street. Does that make sense? So to make sure we're clear on how it's scored. But there's a few things. Look, good standing in the mortgage, it's owner occupied, no recent history listings. There's probably some various things. This just gives us a quick snapshot. But again, like Nikita was saying earlier, this just helps give you a platform to start, right? Instead of going and blasting 5 million postcards across all of Virginia Beach, why not target the ones that our algorithm is saying, hey, maybe you should leave a postcard here. Maybe you should target this property instead of all of them. If you can go to a neighborhood, do a search for where you are, and just go to those orange properties, maybe even include the yellow ones, right?
It would say if it wasn't a quick study.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Hey, something's wrong, your screen's not on.
All right, hold on.
Share your screen.
Let's see. Can you see it?
Yeah.
It must have cut out. So we're good now. So if something happens, we'll be able to, anytime we come back, we'll be able to do it too. So,
You know, I'm gonna ask you this,
yes,
you're in front of a bunch of people, so you have to say yes, but
please.
later on we can talk about why it could be done. Certainly, we can do this presentation without the people who record it and send it to me.
Possibly.
Just
We'll talk later.
Since I don't know what we missed, and what we didn't. there.
Right. Yep.
So
Absolutely.
keep this one send it out to them for now, but if we could do that, and then I can have that, and I'll put it on our YouTube.
Yeah. We're gonna be on YouTube, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. It's my fault. So, all right. Any questions on likelihood to list? Do you feel like this is something that could help you find a potential property, right? Potential listing. Okay. Now let's say you find an area that you want to target, right? Let's take one of these other 6. Oh, that's funny. 606. Ha! I didn't even mean to. This is my grandparents' house. No, that's a little creepy. Yeah, I had dinner there so many times. I'm just kidding. So let's see who owns it now. You know, right? I know. So let's go to. I was trying to see if I could find. All right. One of the things that we're also going to allow you to do is when you find a property that you want to target, you're going to be able to scroll down to the current owner and see who owns it. Now this, I will be 100% transparent. This is not perfect. This is as much information as we can gather online if you've got somebody like Paula here, it doesn't look like she has much information. Or Paul, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said Paula. So Paul, we don't have a lot of information on Paul. Does this mean the tool is broken? Nope, just means Paul's been really good about hiding his information from online, okay? So what we are going to do, what I would recommend doing is if this is a listing that you want to target, is now you have the ability to personalize your postcards. Instead of saying, hey, dear current homeowner, can't tell you how many of those postcards I got, right? Not from you guys, but dear current homeowner, it just doesn't seem as personable, right? Whereas I can actually use their first name. If you guys play around with this, you will see properties that have phone numbers, email addresses, social media accounts. You'll see average income, you'll see, or estimated income, you'll see age, you'll see if they have kids, married, single, whatever it is, right? You'll see all this information, assuming we can gather it from all of the data points that CoStar works with. If we find it online, we will provide it here for you.
The nice thing that I like about it that's different than the other ones, because you all had different ones that give you the phone numbers and it tells you do not call and all that. Theirs says do not call too, whenever you break that, by the
Yep.
way. But the one thing I feel that they have that nobody else has had that's really good is that they have the social media link, so they can go, when they do find it, it's Facebook, LinkedIn, like, look, how that has LinkedIn, you can go straight to LinkedIn, like, all the other ones just have phone numbers. I like those social media lists because no one's really reaching out on there. Everyone's texting and calling. It's different. It's a different form, right?
Yep.
And you could do a digital postcard to them through LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever shows up on there. And that to me is amazing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know of any other, unless anyone else knows the one that can do. And I'm looking specifically at Nikki, because me and them, we've done everything under the sun, and I don't know of one that does it. And this was the kicker for me when I saw this. We've all got hacks.
Yeah.
We've got hacks. No one even knows this happens in there, you know?
Right.
You do have to click, but still, it's either that, think of the time you save by clicking to get those, as opposed to the money and the postcards you're sending to the whole neighborhood when you could do this. And talk about calls. I mean, you don't want to call, fine. Reach out to them on LinkedIn, Facebook, right? Everybody's about the social media, that's for sure. You can even put them on a category in Facebook, put them in different labels. This is Southtown, this is Northtown, this is for each neighborhood. Then what you could do is you can target them on Facebook when you put your Facebook posts out, and you can put their information just for their neighborhood only to those people, so it doesn't go to everybody. And now it doesn't look like you're just sending this out to the whole world. You're just sending it, the only people that can see it are the people in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with this, and we're going to do more classes on it that I'm going to do with Matthew and be able to go through and do this. And all of the collaborators, by the way, your ALC is now called proposed collaborators. All of the collaborators are going to be incorporating this into their trainings as well to go deeper into it. I truly believe that, not just because I purchased it for you guys, but I truly believe that this is the new upcoming, not only Zillow, but I think it's the new upcoming Zillow, Vault, but they're going to end up just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. CoStar has the money to overpower Zillow, overpower Vault, and overpower all of these things. And if we're first through the gate,
Yes.
then at least we're going to know and get that information and be the first ones as a whole brokerage to have it. Because once they get that going through, then the next thing you're going to see is they're going to have the speed dollars and all that even with it. I mean, you can just see the track that it's getting ready to go on, and it's already been, the company itself has already been so successful. How could you not hook your wagon to it? So,
Right.
You know, just know that this is in here. You all want a way to get leads and how to get leads. Any lead you buy, no matter where it's at, I don't care who it's from and where it's at online, is less than a 5% chance of closing. That is the national average. It's actually 4.8 or something like that.
Mhm.
The national average of closing one that you buy. When you could just spend time and come in here and just do it here. It's crazy to me. So if you're not doing that, you really, truly, and you're ready for this, I hope you have your big girl panties on. If you don't, you're not wearing it. It's the only way to get out of it. If you don't have the time, the gumption, the work ethic to go in here every week and send out messages, emails, or calls, you shouldn't be in real estate. And I love you all, and I say that because I love you. You're not going to do this or pay someone you should not be in real estate, guys. I love you. And I say that passionately but with love, you shouldn't be in real estate. Because this is the easiest thing that a company has ever bought you, for you to do, for you to go in, and it is zero money, it is just some time.
Yep.
Matthew, you can
Yes.
take it after that and make the air a
I
little
don't-
lighter.
I don't know how to follow that. Like, Tom seems like, I'm gonna set the bar here. No, but that couldn't be, it couldn't be more true, right? Because think of all of, you guys are in real estate, and I'm preaching to the choir, right? If you guys are in real estate, every deal that another agent gets is one that you don't have, right? Every deal that a brokerage next door gets is a deal that your brokerage doesn't have, right? And so all we are doing is trying to bring every piece of information into one platform. Could you get all of this somewhere else? And like, you could make the argument that no, you can't do social media, but ultimately you could go purchase a platform to find off-market properties. You could purchase a platform to run rapid CMAs. Sure, you could purchase a platform to do all this. The point of CoStar is to bring everything into one spot, one easy to use application for you on the go, right?
Do you know what they're going to futuristically give a discount for people who have CoStar and like has?
That's been brought up a number of times. Yeah,
So, because we do have our commercial division CoStar, and it would be
Yep.
great if that could happen, because at that point, if it was cheap enough, and then don't like hold me to it right now. I don't even think anybody in our commercial division is in here right now. I would buy CoStar for our commercial division.
Right.
If that would happen.
we actually heard rumor that they're talking about some sort of like ultimate CRM platform
Oh,
where
God.
everything would be in, literally, whether you're in commercial, multifamily, you have some multifamily properties, you've got your residential sector, like everything would be under one CRM.
I would love
That's
that.
gonna be down the road, but like
I would
they,
invest in that.
oh, seriously.
Heard that if you get rid of rain and make a better cut, because they're a monopoly, they're a true monopoly.
Yeah.
You have to use them, there's no other way around it in
Yep.
order to be, and they make you, especially for realtor, even in other areas.
Oh, yeah.
Each MLS is just a true monopoly.
Mhm.
If you truly bring in something else, because even in Rain's rules, it's written in that we're not allowed to use another MLS, that's a true monopoly. It's
Right.
the only true monopoly I know of in the United States.
Yeah.
If you do that, I will be an investor on what you need, but I'm telling you, that's
Yeah.
how much I would believe in.
Right.
Because I would love to see another platform for us all to use, and you guys have already proven that you can move
Yep.
the dial from what Zillow
Mhm,
is doing over here. You're the only company I know
mhm.
that agents have used fully, and it's not Zillow.
Do you guys know that in the multifamily sector, Zillow used to be the #1 platform for rental searches
Yep.
until CoStar purchased apartments, right?
I didn't know that.
Yep, it was Zillow and RentPath were the two biggest in the multifamily sector until CoStar fixed up apartments.com.
Wow.
Now, apartments.com, the entire network, because there's probably 5 or 6 smaller websites that work under the apartments umbrella. Apartment Finder, ForRent.com, like you've heard some of those names. All those combined dominate about 95% of the multifamily industry. Apartments.com also powers Realtor.com's rental search, right? So literally in all aspects, everything that CoStar touches becomes dominant in their sector.
Wow.
And here's the thing, a lot of agents I talk to are like, well, that's a little scary, right? Until you look at their track record and working with their clients, right? Everything that CoStar has ever done has been about the commercial agent. Everything that they did with multifamily was about the property manager, the leasing consultant. Everything that we're going to do now for residential, and I'm about to show you in homes.com, is going to be for you as the residential agent, right? So we've been doing this for 37 years. CoStar has been in the game for 37 years, has perfected the track record. That track record is now being placed on homes.com and Homesnap. You guys are in the ground running,
Wow.
right? So it's super exciting. So
Yeah, I'm
anyway, back on here about Donna, everyone's writing down her information, I guarantee you, but this is how you're going to do it. I was in Chicago not too long ago at a brokerage, and one of the brokers actually gave an idea and was like, well, hey, why don't you guys use the social media links, since it was during the peak of offers flying in, and you know listings were getting 20+ offers, right? And what they were doing, he was challenging his agents to do is use the social media links and find something that that the consumer liked, right? That the potential, so an example was they used Facebook link and found out that they were diehard Cubs fans, right? So in their offer, they threw in their agents season tickets for the Cubs, right? It was like little things like that are just going to be what helps separate you from every other agent that's out there, right? Hampton Roads has how many real estate agents? It's 9,700. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So over 9,000 agents. So this is one way to help you differentiate yourself from the rest of the crowd. This is one way to help you be a little more efficient in finding your next property. Any questions on this?
No, but I do have a comment.
Yep,
So
please.
Jean, Rosalia, so she doesn't use a lot of platforms at all. She has used Facebook, but whenever we had decided we were giving something, I gave her a call and said, hey, I just want you to know, I know you're probably not gonna use it. She just one of the people who just doesn't want to use. She has technology, but only specific ones, right? Not that I know you're not gonna use it, but I just want you to know about it, okay? So just bear with me. And she said, whenever she goes, no, I use Homesnap. I said, what?
For about 4 months.
And I said, she goes, it keeps all of my text messages in one place for my clients. She said, then she goes, I take a picture of my house and it tells me how much it, I was like, what? So for somebody that doesn't use barely any, she has to use post office to do our commercial agent, right? But for someone who doesn't use platforms outside of like 5 or 6, and she's telling me she was already using it,
That says something.
that does.
Yeah.
That does.
That says something. And it also points to just the user interface, right? Because a lot of platforms that you use just aren't nice to use, if we're being real. Like, sure, they might give you some nice information, but they're just not, you don't want to use the application. Homesnap is a little bit different. Homes.com, if you haven't been on the new Homes.com website, I challenge you to go look at Homes.com and compare it to any other portal out there and tell me that it's not the better looking website, right? So all that to say, we're trying to make this a little bit nicer, a little more streamlined. Likelihood to list is probably the most popular heat map, but there's a lot of other options that you have. Someone mentioned distressed properties. Okay, so let's see if we look at, I know there's not a ton of distress in the area right now, but list pendants, notice of default, notice for foreclosure, notice of trustee sale. You can use that to target some different areas if you like going after those distressed properties. Ownership time. This is a big one. A lot of agents tell me they like to use. How long has the consumer been in the house, right? If they look and find someone that's been in for 15, 20 years, the possibility that might be an empty nester, need to find their retirement home, it's a little bit stronger for those people who have been in the house for a lot longer. Ownership type. If you're in the oceanfront, you want to find those corporate owned homes. Maybe it's an investment company that's looking to flip the property, right? You can use ownership type and look at absentee, out of state, in-state, corporate, or owner occupied. So let's find a corporate one. I know Virginia Beach has a lot of corporate owned homes, obviously, but let's see if we can see. It's an LLC, it looks like, right? So who knows? Maybe this is an investor. Maybe you can get in and help with that flip, right? There are so many different options and different ways that you can use these heat maps to try to find the next property. So if one of you is using likelihood to list, the other one can be using the ownership type, home equity, right? We will color code everyone based on how much equity is built into the house. If you want to find those people who have $500,000 plus in equity built into the property, you can filter those out. The beautiful thing is you can actually combine any and all of these heat maps into one search. You save the search, and then as soon as a property that matches all of the search criteria hits, you'll be notified, because I told you about how to turn on your notifications at the beginning of the meeting, right?
Yeah.
So this is how everything kind of comes together. All you have to do, you hit more filters. You're under the Explore tab. I can combine any of these filters to make sure that I get notified when an off-market property matches my criteria. And guess what? As soon as I get that notification, I know exactly who I'm reaching out to right then and
So
there.
that one you can put it. Can you put in there the distressed property and
Yeah.
also you can. So
Yep.
you can get notified of distress, which means we're behind on payment.
Right.
Which means you can hold up offers for itself.
Anyone?
And-
please? Yep.
What, I can't say that.
Sorry, Liz pendants, notice of default, notice of foreclosure
Okay.
sale, and notice of trustee sale.
Okay, and then what about? You go for sale by owner or not?
No, so FSBOs aren't included in this. I don't know if there's a way for us to actually,
Let's find out.
yeah. That would be something that would be,
You can mark them for sale by owner, because that's why Zillow has them, because they
Right.
market them, right? I think we definitely need to do that.
we've never dabbled in the for sale by owners, honestly, because,
Might as well take over the world.
right? We'll add it down. I like it.
I love to.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can't say when something has went off the market.
So what you could do, honestly,
That-
MLS status right here.
There it is, I see, okay, okay.
So you could do any combination. So let's say you want to find, you want the off-market property where the owner has been in it for at least 15 years, has at least $250,000 of equity built in,
Nice.
and has at least a loan balance of less than whatever, $100,000 left or $50,000 left, right?
Okay.
Combine all three of those. Now, keep in mind, again, your results are going to be narrowed down drastically, right?
Yeah.
But it's one way for you guys to prospect. And that way, you know, when I send out this postcard, email, text message, phone call, whatever, I'm just going to be that much closer to finding someone who is willing to sell their house, who wants to sell their house. And again, you guys know the game of branding. It's not about them even wanting to move now. It's about me getting my name in front of them so that as soon as they start to think,
Right,
I've already thought about Thomasina and Coastal Town Realty, right? That's the only name that comes to mind when I think about if I moved into a house that I needed to clean out my chimney. The only people that come to mind are Step in Time because literally their radio ads are everywhere, right? It's like, that's the only thing I think about. When I think about, you name it, right? When I think about purchasing a new car, I think about the Little Joe Mitsubishi guy because of, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Sorry.
I can't talk like him because I'm like, oh my gosh.
The voice.
Yes. Well, but you guys, it's the power of branding. We're trying to help you guys do that. So even if they don't move now, when they do move, you guys are going to be the person that they reach out to because you targeted them, you reached out and you had that much more information before you even reached out to them. Make sense? Any questions, comments, concerns?
It also seems like a great way to find potential first-time buyers. If you have
Absolutely.
properties that are owner out of state or absentee out of state, whatever, bounce over to rental
Yeah.
and get in front of them because let's see if they can buy in the next year.
Listen, the opportunity is endless. You can use this to your discretion and have fun with it, right? So, Thomasina, anything else you would want me to cover on the heat map portion?
I think that's it. I mean, that's pretty in depth, you know, on that. You need to set that up. You guys need to take time to do that. So that you get those notifications and you can have automatic digital cards already set up from Hammer or wherever.
Once you create your search or create your filters, hit save search, name it whatever you want,
Yes.
right? Prospecting
Yeah.
or January reach outs or whatever it is, right? Yep. Yep.
You know, really getting to know the loan balance, because a lot of times when we go
Oh,
for the
yeah.
appointment, we're a little bit nervous to ask that question. And this thing is true because I went and checked mine. And I thought, for real? For real.
Yeah.
So I think that we kind of, if we know that number, when we're going into the appointment, I think we have a really good tool.
Thank you. Yep, that's awesome. And again, this is going to be perfected as we keep going because we have the perfect company backing us now that we didn't have before, right? These were all tools that we had prior to CoStar coming into the picture. They're being perfected as we speak. They're only going to get that much stronger and that much better as CoStar continues to invest in us. So, a couple of small things that I think, I can't remember if it was David or somebody else mentioned, running a rapid CMA when you're at the property, right? When you get to, let's say you go to one of these properties, get to it, hold on. Under your agent actions. So if you're on the phone, you're scrolling, it's the very first thing that you get to on your phone. But under your agent actions, you've got a few different tools. Sell speed, not quite as important. It might be getting a little more important as the market is starting to shift. When it was like the seller's market, this was, you know, you could bypass this because it didn't matter how fast our algorithm said it was going to sell. As the market starts to shift a little bit, you might find yourself needing to use this tool, the sell speed tool, which is just an algorithm that tells you if you price it here, it will take less than 2 weeks to sell. It will take more than 2 weeks. It'll take 5 weeks. It'll take whatever, right? Play around with this. Again, I would wait until the market really starts to shift back before I start heavily using this. But here's your rapid CMA. I'm gonna be the first to admit, it's not maybe not as in depth as you might be able to run in another program, but it's going to be one that is built in less than 30 seconds that you can do while you're at the property right then and there.
The net sheet calculator, can you customize that?
To an extent,
Okay, can we see it?
yes.
Because right now we're waiting on our other ones to update, so can you set it to where we can automatically, like, can I put in our company's information, our comment TikTok, and then we can save it?
Not right now, no.
Gotta do that too.
Yep.
Gotta fix that.
Yep. All these things, right? Part of why we're doing these field presentations as well as to get some feedback
Yeah.
too. So yeah. As of now, no, you can put in your miscellaneous right here, but the fields themselves are set. Hopefully the customizable one will be to come. So, and then your quick contact the owner section right here. So as you're scrolling through the properties, all you have to do instead of finding that one spot where it says contact it, you can just go right here and it drops the website right to that spot. Okay. These are fairly self-explanatory. I would practice using the rapid CMA tool. I'm not going to walk you through it because it's very self-explanatory. You choose a couple active listings, you choose some listings that are for sale. A couple active listings and a couple sold listings. Make sure the information lines up, how many beds, baths, square footage, whatever. And then it will generate it's usually like a 60 to 70 page PDF for you guys, branded as you as the agent, right? With your picture, your Homesnap picture and everything, your contact information. It will generate that in less than 60 seconds. You can email it, you can text it, whatever you need to while you're on the phone standing right there. Okay. Very simple to use. I think I heard a couple people say they were already using it, so that's great. Do you guys, and I'm not as familiar with this side of Virginia Beach as I am with the oceanfront part. There is a safety timer built in to Homesnap as well that you guys have access to. When you get within 1,000 yards of the property, if you pull it up on Homesnap under the agent actions, you will see safety timer. Okay. Safety timer allows you to pick some emergency contacts. So maybe someone on the team. And if you don't respond to the timer that you set, it will send a text message to those emergency contacts saying, Thomasina was supposed to check in, haven't heard, please reach out. There's a distress button now. As soon as you start the timer, there's a big red distress button, no matter where you are on the app. If you hit distress, it sends a much more harshly worded text message, or not harshly, urgent text message saying they're in distress, please reach out to authorities immediately. Okay. Again, you have to be within 1,000 yards of the property. So let's actually, I might be able to, yeah. Let's do,
Personal.
what's the address here? 968 First Colonial Road. Let's do current location. All right. I can't do it on here because I forgot I'm on a CoStar laptop. It thinks I'm in DC. So, so I will show you that on the phone. It's super easy. It's just our IP address is routed through DC. So it thinks I'm up in DC. So I won't be able to show you. But again, 1,000 yards, set the timer, super simple. Just remind me afterwards and I'll walk you through it. Okay. All right, let's see. Before I jump into homes.com and show you guys something pretty awesome, Thomasina, was there something else that I'm missing? I feel like there was one other thing that I needed to cover. I did connecting with clients, the heat maps.
Cannot download.
Not yet.
Patch yet.
Yep. Save the searches is what we tell people to do for right now.
So I think that's all I have on the curriculum. That's what like everybody kept asking about.
Okay.
And then, of course, the Google business page was on another.
Yes. Excuse me. So Google business pages, I've already gone through and we did a mass edit for everyone's Google business page to change from Keller Williams to Coastal Town Realty. Those should be done. If they aren't, I need a text message, I need an email, whatever, to let me know so I can get it. I have an open ticket for the GBPs, the Google Business Profiles here, to make sure that we get them all completed and up to date. Those are manually updated. So the Google Business Profiles aren't updated directly from the MLS. Those are manually updated, but we're doing it for you,
Oh,
right?
I know the other thing on that is to show them the advertisement.
Oh, the
That's
postings.
the other thing.
Yes, thank you. All right, so let's do,
To show them the free advertisement and then how they can share it.
right. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to use Thomasina as the example here. Let's make sure. Yep. So we've got postings. So one of the benefits of having Homesnap run your Google Business Profile is, and is everyone familiar with what the Google Business Profile is? Most people should be. Okay, if you're not, instead of this being blank and a consumer having to click on a website link, which means they might go to Zillow and then get routed to 4 or 5, 20 other agents, or they go to an out of date, in this case, Keller Williams website, right? What we're doing is making sure that they have the information right there, just like as if they were looking up a pizza joint, right? When you scroll down, we're also doing these posts automatically for you, right? The importance of us doing posting is to make sure that Google starts recognizing you as a real estate expert in your market. Unfortunately, when it comes to Google, it's not what people know, it's what Google knows, right? So if Google doesn't know that you're an active real estate agent, they're not going to showcase you higher. That local search engine optimization is not going to be playing a factor because Google doesn't know you, right? So what we're doing is we're doing some of these posts automatically, whether you have it's a for sale listing, an open house that you're running, or like in the case with Thomasina here, we've got some frequently asked questions. How much is my home worth? There are a number of factors that dictate a home's worth, and call now. Right? Every post is going to be pushing them just to reach out to you directly, right? The nice thing is it's going to be a little bit easier on the mobile site, but it's okay. Here we go. All I have to do is simply, if I want to share these posts across social media, all I have to do is open it up, again, mobile phone or from the desktop, and click the little share icon. And I can embed it, Facebook, Twitter, grab the copy the link, paste it into Instagram, whatever it is. I'm able to do that all from right here. Does that make sense? Here's the thing again. These posts are not necessarily to drive traffic. I want to be clear. These posts are designed to get Google to start recognizing you. If we can get Google to recognize you, then what's going to happen is you'll start showing up higher when someone searches top real estate agent in Virginia Beach, right? Best listing agent in Hilltop, best, what, you get my point, right? We need you guys to start showing up, because what's going to happen is when you do top real estate agent in VA Beach, you're going to have your map section. Who's number 1 right now? Chris Weaver, right? Unfortunately, Chris Weaver is number 1, but that's because he's been doing the Google thing for a while, and Google trusts him as the local expert. We need it to be you guys. And so since we took over and we're doing these posts for you guys, it's only a matter of time before you're going to start seeing other agents. Right? Right? Exactly. But this is why it's so crucial that we do the posting.
Yeah, 100 some.
164, and it's not
That's
perfect.
nothing.
Yeah.
We have 100 people in this office. Everybody should have at least 100 reviews.
Right.
I'm gonna say, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? Every week, I'm gonna pick one person. And I'm gonna text it. We're gonna text our thing and say, please go to this person and do reviews.
Yeah.
Can we all commit to doing one review?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do one a week. And I'm gonna start opposite. I'm gonna start with whoever has 0 production, and then I'm gonna go up, okay? But we all have to commit to click that link and do it. And we're all gonna make sure we all have at least 100 reviews in the next few months.
Guess what? The nice thing about Google is they don't care if it was a customer or not.
Right. Great.
I'll be honest, I have an issue when I keep getting reviews and they're not posting them, and they just took one away from you. It's
Yep.
really weird.
So this came up at the beginning, and unfortunately, right now, it's not just a Homesnap thing or a real estate thing. It's a global issue for Google right now, right? Where reviews aren't showing. And so we hear that a lot, right? We are, I think the term is whitelisted with Google, meaning we are one of the more prominent, important companies that they're investigating. The issue that I talked to Thomasina, we honestly think it actually started because Google locked down on their review algorithms right at the beginning of the war with Russia and Ukraine. A lot of people were blasting a lot of Russian businesses, and Google locked it down immediately and was like, these are all fake reviews. And then they implemented massive algorithms across all of their industries. So it's not just you as a real estate agent. If Target's having the issue, Best Buy, like any company's having issues with these reviews showing up right now, we have an open ticket basically where we provide proof. They hopefully can get it pushed through. But what we're telling people is just give it time. Don't give up requesting those reviews, because eventually what's going to happen is Google will open the floodgates and those will start to post, right? So don't give up. Don't get frustrated. I know it's something, it's just an unfortunate thing right now that we have to deal with. Thankfully, it wasn't our fault. It wasn't your fault either, right? We're honestly not sure whose fault it was. It's just Google immediately implemented these huge algorithms. They're massive review type situations. So yeah.
We all review one person like once a week, like we were just talking about. Is it gonna shut us down because things are all fake?
No. So what I would do though is be strategic, right? And don't, in your reviews, make sure that they're honest. Make sure that it's like when I review for people, I make sure that it's specifically about the person themselves, not about a transaction,
Right.
but about them,
Okay.
right? So-and-so is a great agent, works tirelessly. I see them constantly, like whatever it is, right? Just make sure that, and what I would also recommend is leave reviews for more than just agents. Leave reviews for a restaurant that you went to this week, right? Leave reviews for a product that you ordered on Amazon. Like make sure that you, in Google's eyes, are someone that takes reviews seriously, and they're going to be more likely to start showing reviews up. Make sense? Any other questions on reviews? Again, the importance of the posting is not to drive traffic, it's to what?
Google recognize.
Have Google recognize you. Okay, absolutely. So, Thomasina, was that That's good.
the last one.
perfect? So I'm going to show you guys one last thing on homes.com. Then I'll make sure to respect y'all's time. Hopefully you've learned at least something here. Has anyone used homes.com in the past? Adam, yeah, that's right. Yep. All right. So homes.com has changed completely. And here's why it's important to you is because eventually what's going to happen, and what's already started to happen, is Homesnap is going to be integrated into homes.com. All the tools that I'm teaching you now here will eventually be on the homes.com platform, right? They purchased homes.com obviously for the name. You go to homes.com, what do you expect to find? Homes. You go to cars.com, what do you expect to find? Exactly, right? So they bought homes.com for the domain, for the platform that we were already built on. They've completely re-established a brand new website. I already have it up. Look, I was prepared. So I want this. Here's what, actually, before I do this, let me make sure I'm not connected with an agent. This is I have a buyer profile right now. I don't think I am. Nope. All right. Let's do this. Somebody name off another zip code for me.
23462.
Wow. Okay, hold on. 52 or 62? Which one?
62.
Okay, we're doing 62. All right. But you know what? What's the average price in 62?
280, 290,000.
Okay. So let's do, you know what we're gonna do? I'm just gonna grab, I think I saw one. All right, I like this one. 799,000. All right. First and foremost, I know it's really hard to see, but can you guys tell me who the listing agent just by looking at this page? How'd you know? It's on the bottom, right? Hey, here's what we're doing differently on homes.com. We know that consumers want to know who the listing agent is. Nowadays, buyer wants to know who the listing agent is. How frustrating is it for a consumer to submit a lead and then to get bombarded with 20 phone calls, 20 text messages, concierge teams trying to reach out to tell them about the listing. We're changing that here. For free, without any sort of investment, you guys are now showcased as the prominent listing agent on your own properties on homes.com. So if I click in, here's the listing agent. Michelle's not paying us anything for this. What we have is her as a prominent listing agent showcased on all of her listings for free. All right. So let's do this. Does anyone have an active listing right now?
200 Maple Avenue. Unit I.
Sorry. Ryan, do you mind coming up and showing this? Sorry, guys, hold on. All right, so this is listen.
It's actually that much.
Mm-mm.
Then we go
No.
back.
You guys got me choked up. Hold on 1 second.
So. Is that the one in Norfolk?
Yeah, see unit I, but if you click that, maybe you know.
Yeah, let's see if it does.
I can give you another one, 304 Woodland Avenue.
So it was 304
Woodland,
like that, Woodland.
Woodland Avenue, Hampton. Sorry, man, let me check if it's Avenue or I think it's maybe road. It's road. Road.
There we go.
Woodland Road.
There we go.
Yeah.
So that right there. And then, of course, as you can see, there you are prominently as the listing agent. And I'm sure you've been on those other competitors, like Matt said earlier. I don't want to bash any of them, but you know, you've seen your listings, you click on one of your listings, you don't ever see yourself. You see 3 random agents paying for the platform. Now, the great part is, like I said, this is completely free. You will be the only one getting that lead on your listing. So you don't have to worry about, you know, I mean, you worked hard for that listing. You deserve to get the inquiries on it, right? So that's exactly what we're doing.
Everyone give it up for Ryan.
You good now?
I'm good. All right. Apologies. Like, you know, you get that like tickle in the back of your throat and it's like, couldn't stop it. So, any questions on what I'm showing you here on homes.com? So here, again, this goes back to why it's important for you to be connected with the consumers on Homesnap and homes.com. As soon as I come in, and if I'm connected with Minesh, I'm going to see Minesh everywhere, no matter where I'm looking. If I'm looking in Florida, if I'm looking in Colorado, it doesn't matter where I'm looking, I will always see him as my buyer's agent. We'll still say, like if you scroll down here, it would say, here's the listing agent. If you're already working, or it will say, it looks like you're connected with Minesh Mosquito. How do you pronounce your last name? Sandy Armani. Please reach out to them, right? So we are going to always push them to work with the agent they're connected with. Does that make sense? Any questions on this? Do you guys? Yes.
So if we want to go into the back end of homes.com, say we want to change the picture or
Yep.
whatever, is it the same login as? Homesnap?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Same logins. Your password's the same, email's the same, everything's the same. Because again, we're starting that integration of Homesnap into homes.com. It's like, it's happening. I think I mentioned at the beginning, there was some articles that went out on Inman recently about what that integration is just starting to happen. There's been changes in our own office in the past couple of weeks that we're still kind of like, we're trying to wrap our heads around, right? But it's happening quickly, which is why it's important that we got in here and presented all of this to you guys. Any other questions for me? Obviously, I want to make sure that I stay back. I can walk you guys through anything on the mobile side, answer questions for you. I know there was a couple people that we need to fix email addresses for. That's why I'm here, okay? So, Thomasine, anything you would like to add before we close?
No, I think that's it, guys. Super proud of
Question, I don't know if you would be able to do it, but, so one of the things we lost in the Williams is the referral network. Is Homesnap looking and doing like an agent referral network? Because I can't see agents outside of my MLS, so I can't look for agents to refer people to.
Oh, I see.
And I really don't want to look on Zillow. If you haven't known, I'm not.
That's all right. So let's go. Browse agents. So when you say referral network, do you mean like actually being able to search for a specific agent or doing a general search?
General search.
Like,
Like
if
an
I have
area.
a client in Sacramento that wants to buy a house, how do I find an agent that I want?
Right. So what I would recommend doing right now is using homes.com for that, because let me show you here. And again, it's only a matter of time before I stop saying Homesnap, homes.com. It's just going to be homes, right? Just a matter of time.
Okay.
We're in stage one, literally. But what I would recommend doing is using our agent directory. We have over 1 million agents here. And the beautiful thing is the agent directory for homes.com is not a paid placement platform. Okay. You cannot pay us $1 million to show up higher in the agent directory. What we are going to do is showcase the most successful active agents in whatever area you are searching, even down to the neighborhood. If you want to search for a specific neighborhood to see who specializes in that neighborhood, we will break down the number of sales they have based on that specific neighborhood. So an example, if I did, I'm going to do my, that's fine. I got, so this is my neighborhood now, Dominion Lakes, right? We will show total sales, but we are sorting based on what? Dominion Lakes. Because as a consumer, I want to know who specializes Dominion Lakes, right? So I know Angela is #1 in Dominion Lakes right now. It's a newer community. I don't know if you guys are familiar out there, but it's a newer community, much smaller. But this is how the search directory or the agent directory is working on homes.com now, right? So if you need that agent referral network, this is how I would start until we come out with something that's a little more robust, right? Again, Angela's not paying us to show up first. She just does the most activity there, right? Steve's not paying us to show up second. He's just got the second most. Does that make sense? Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. Any other questions? Nothing else? Guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for letting me be here. Yep.
Something or you need personalized help, stick around in here, you'll come around.
We'll be here.
I just sent Holly, working out there to do the first rounds, but they're doing pictures out there, so feel free to head out. Kind of just rotate, so you can get your pictures. Ask Blake, I'm not sure if they set them in the back or front, set them out there yet, but they're out there.
I think they're back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the media room.
Mhm.
Perfect. You're welcome, guys. Just make sure that you have them, these numbers. So you can-
Having a hard time logging in myself.
Yep. Let me come.